It's 7 now. Do we want to start?
Yes, I think we should start. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Right. So, Mingalaba. Good evening, good afternoon, depending on where you are. And welcome to Myanmar TESOL Teacher Support Program. Today is a special day as we are having a special speaker, Ginny Rowlands from Transform ELT Globe Professional Learning Community. And I think you can remember, we had a session of introducing Transform ELT Globe Professional Learning Community on the 26th of February 2022, 2 months ago. Okay, so now let me introduce our speaker for today, Miss Ginny Rowlands. Ginny worked for the British Council for over 30 years as a teacher, teacher trainer, and curriculum developer, and eventually as a teaching center director. Her experience spans the globe, from Latin America to South and East Asia, Europe, the Middle East, and North Africa. But she has a keen interest in Myanmar teachers, having worked with them between 2014 and 2018. And she was my former boss when I was in the British Council. And the topic that she's dealing with today, guiding principles for teaching online, which is the most important thing for us, for all of us, especially during this pandemic time when we all are going online, our teaching going virtual. So we are sure that we will learn something very useful from you, Ginny. And before we begin, let me do a bit of housekeeping. The session will take about an hour and it will be recorded. And it will, Ginny will talk for about 45 minutes to 50 minutes. And there will be a Q&A sections for 10 minutes to 15 minutes towards the end. And we'll send you a link in the chat box for the Google form for some kind of, evaluation and, for the collecting the names and your email addresses for the certificates. So without further ado, shall we begin? And may I hand over the session to the presenter. Ginny, the floor is yours.
Thank you, May, for that very nice introduction. I miss all my old colleagues or young old colleagues from Myanmar, and I hope that I'll be back there one day sooner rather than later. So May and I have been working together for the last few months, working together to think about ways that we can support your teaching, even though we are a long way, or I am a long way away. I am living now in France. So one of the things that we started to think about was how we could
I'm sorry, you're on mute.
You got yourself muted. Yes.
Sorry. So we want to be able to support you, and one of the ideas is to cooperate with MMTSOL giving workshops about teaching, and the other idea is to set up a professional learning community, which I'll talk about a little bit later, which you will be able to access at any time from your tablet or your phone or your laptop. A bit more about that later. But from what I would like to do today is talk to you. Hang on, I need to share my screen. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes,
Yes,
I can see.
Yes, I can see.
Does
Yes,
everybody
teacher.
know how to go to reactions? Can you see reactions on your screen? Even I can't see them now. And you can find the reaction, which is either a thumbs up or a yes. So when I say, can everybody see my screen? Can I see some reactions, please? Very good. I can see that Kay is giving me a thumbs up, and another thumbs up from teacher Ju and from Mr. Lintet. That's very good. I can't see everybody on my screen right now, but I'm hoping that you're all able to see the screen. So as you can see, my session today is not just about teaching online in general, but how we can recreate the classroom online, recreate the ideas and the techniques that we use automatically in classrooms, but online. And now I can't move it. Why can't I move it? So today you are going to experience an online lesson. So you're going to have to be good students today, and we're going to pretend that you are students, and you're going to follow a lesson as though you were students. The lesson that you were going to do is really for any age group, because it's a very simple topic. You're also going to experience learner-centered techniques using Zoom, so things that help you to feel part of the lesson and not just a passive listener to the lesson. Then we're going to reflect on your experience in the lesson. And finally, we're going to talk about some key principles that can guide your online lesson planning and your teaching practice. So I think if everybody's ready, we'll start on the lesson. Here is a picture. Is this a picture of a birthday card, or is it a picture of a birthday cake? If you think it's a birthday cake, thumbs up, please. Very good, very good. How do we know it's a birthday cake? Because it's got candles on it. So one word that we associate with birthday cakes is candles. Now I want you to think of 5 other words, not candles, that this picture makes you think of. So think in your head, make a note, whatever you like. I'm going to give you about 30 seconds for that. Are you thinking? Is everybody thinking? No need to say anything, just thinking time. Great. Now I want you to find the chat option on the screen and write the words that you thought of. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes, and I expect to see lots of words in the chat. Oh, somebody's got some good ideas there. You're very quick typers, good typers. Excellent, very good. Okay, I'll give you 30 seconds more. May.
Yes.
Did you
I'm
read
here.
the chat?
Yes, I can.
Can you tell me one word that is there many times?
Okay, let me see.
Not just once, but more than once.
Okay, so the word that I see very often are candles and
Okay.
family and colors.
Okay, thank you, May. Mia. Teacher Mia, MYA. Can you tell me two more
Yes.
words see often?
Cake.
And one more.
Celebrate.
Yes, very good. That's a verb, isn't it? So that's different to the other words.
Mhm.
And somebody else, maybe Matthew. Can you tell me two more words that you can see that lots of people have written?
I think there's cake and let me check. Sorry.
Yes, have a look, have a second look if you like.
Yes, we have colors
Oh, yes, that's
and
extra,
maybe
isn't it?
yummy or sweet.
And what was the next one? What was that one?
Sweet.
Sweet, yes.
Sweet.
And
Yes,
we
cake
had
sweet.
sweetness, didn't we? So sweet is the adjective, sweetness is the noun that comes from that. Excellent. So lots of words. We go on to the next bit of the lesson now, I hope. And to close the chat. Why can't I go to the next screen?
You just enter it or press the enter button, or maybe at the left hand bottom you have the arrows. Yes.
Oh, no, it doesn't. Yeah, it wouldn't work on that. So, are there any words that you can see on the screen there that we didn't see in the chat? Can anybody tell me one word or two? I can see two words, three words that were not in the chat. Can anybody else see them? Maybe
Singing.
Teacher Ju, can you see any new words there?
The presents.
I think fun.
Presents. Yes, very good. So a present is something that you either give to somebody or you receive because it's your birthday. Can anybody, maybe Miss Pinky, can you tell me another word that wasn't in the chat?
Singing.
Singing. Okay, so why might we say, why is singing connected to birthdays? Sora, can you tell me, or Mr. Lin Tet, can you tell me what is the connection between singing and a birthday?
So we need to sing that song on that day.
Yeah,
So
which is the song that we sing in English when it's a birthday? What's it called? You know, Mr. Lintet?
birthday songs, I guess.
There's a special song.
Mhm.
Does anybody know the special song?
Happy birthday to you. That's a song.
That's the one. Yes. Very good. Okay. Good students. You know a lot about birthdays. That's very good. So I want you to think about when your birthday is and write the date of your birthday in the chat. Ready, steady, go. In the chat, please write your birthday date. Oh. Somebody had a birthday very recently, I can see. Have a look now, have a look at the chat and see if anybody has a birthday in the same month as you. If they have the same month as you, the birthday in the same month as you, can you raise your hand using the hand raising reaction? Oh, lots of people with the same month, birthdays in the same month. Can you find anybody in the chat who has a birthday this month? Okay, lots of people, lots of people. Very good. So today, thank you. You can all relax now. We're going to start the next part of the lesson. And today, you are going to be talking about your last birthday. Before we start talking, I'm going to give you some thinking time. Maybe if you've got a pen and a piece of paper or a pencil and a notebook, you could write down 3 or 4 or 5 things that you can say about your last birthday. What do you remember? How old were you? Who were you with? Did you see your family? Did you eat something delicious? Did you get any fabulous presents? Did you visit any family? All these things. So I'm going to give you some thinking time now. Are you ready? Okay, stop thinking. I think you should be ready. Can you look at the screen, please? And there are some instructions for you. So you're going to talk about your last birthday and you will go to a breakout room. I think everybody knows what a breakout room is. So you'll be with some other students and you'll have the time to say a few things about your last birthday. Because there are lots and lots and lots of you here, there will be lots of people in your breakout room, I'm afraid. They're not really like a normal lesson, but let's try. When you go to the breakout room, you will get a message on your screen on which room to join. I haven't opened them yet. I will in a minute. And you're going to tell your group about your last birthday. And as you listen, you're going to note down things that everybody says that are similar or the same, like we did before with the chat. So if I say, on my last birthday, I spent the time with my family, and some other people say that, then that's something that you can note down. Spend time with family, or spent in the past time with my family. So I want you to tell me yes or no. Do you understand the instructions? If you do, please use the word with the thumbs up or yes.
Yes.
Fabulous. Mia,
Yes.
do you understand? Great. Okay. So I'm going to open the rooms now. You'll see the invitation on your screen. And you are going to talk a little bit about your last birthday. See you later.
Hello, teacher Rita. Can you hear me? Hello.
Hi, welcome back, everyone. Did you have fun? Was it good listening to other people?
Yes, we did.
Great, great. I heard some. I know that I'm aware that for all of you, your life is not the same as it usually you'd like it to be, or it usually is. So I'm aware that the stories were not the same as you might have told in another time. Still, it was good to hear you all using English, which is great. And you could tell everybody has a story, some kind of contribution to make. So that's important, isn't it? So the next part is, what is the next part? It's the feedback. And I would like somebody from your group, not that. Somebody, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Okay. I would like somebody from the first group, breakout room 1, to tell us something that lots of people did or lots of people mentioned. Who is from group 1? Who wants to talk about what their ideas from group 1? I'm sorry, I can't see you all now.
Yeah, I forgot my group 1 or 2. I forgot. I don't know.
I can call out the names of people from room 1.
Oh, okay, May, you can help me. Just call out one name.
Uh-huh.
Somebody in the middle of group of breakout room 1.
Yeah. So okay, maybe Lin Chapai. Okay, can you represent your group, and can you please share about the experience of your group members to us?
Of course, teacher.
Thank you.
So so in breakout room 1, so we learned so many things about their moments or their experience, especially about their last day. And then yes, so we talk a lot about happiness that we had on our last day. And then we mentioned some distressing situations like the military coup is happening. So we talk a lot about it. And then we learned. So I had what, like a bouquet like flowers. They mentioned about it. So it was a common thing. And then I think that's it. Mostly we really left us being surrounded by happiness. So we all mentioned the same thing. I think that's all. Hopefully members from breakout room number 1 I think that my feedback, they are really supportive for you.
Thank you very much. That's a very clear feedback, because you summarized well things that what people had in common that were the same for all of you. May, can you tell me somebody from breakout
Room
room
2.
3 or tell the room?
2.
Choose the name from breakout room 3.
Okay. So we haven't heard from breakout room 2 yet. Do we want to move on to room
No,
3?
we haven't. No, because we won't have time. I'm just randomly picking.
All right. So breakout room 3. Maybe Xiaohei, can you share your experience of listening to other people?
Yes, teacher, of course, I can, teacher. So in our program, we discuss a lot of our, how we celebrate our birthday movement. Most of us celebrated our birthday with my family members and with my friends. To do this, the present situations like pandemic and coup, so we can celebrate our birthday as happily as we can to a large extent. And most of us spends our birthday time and birthday moment with my family members. And one of the things that I remember, one of my group members shared is like teacher Candida, I guess, I'm not sure. She told us that like she just celebrated her first birthday without her parents. It's one of the saddest moment as soon as I hear. So that's
Oh
about
dear.
birthday. This is how we celebrate our birthday in our group, and that's what we show in our group about our birthday celebrations, teacher.
Okay, thank you very much for that very detailed summary. You were listening extremely well. And did you just remember, or did you write something down?
Teacher, I just noted in my mind. I didn't have a chance to write.
Okay, well then you've obviously got a very good memory. That's excellent. Memories are really useful for learning, aren't they? Very good. So obviously, if this was a full lesson, we would make a lot more of this, and you would go to all the groups, and then you might even do a bit more language work. But we'll get on to the next part of the lesson now. Now I want you to remember me. I came into your lessons, into your breakout rooms. Do you remember that? Did you see me join?
Yes, we did.
It was just you.
Yes.
Seconds.
And I want you to have a think about what I did when I came into your room. A little bit of thinking time. Maybe I said something, maybe I didn't. Maybe I asked a question. Maybe I corrected you. Maybe I asked you to be clearer. Have to think about it. Which of those did I do? Which was it your group that I visited, but I didn't say anything?
No?
Write in the chat if you think it was breakout room 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. If you were in breakout room, that room, you will have noticed that my face appeared, but I didn't speak to you. Well, that was breakout room 1. I also went into a breakout room and I asked a question about the task. Do you remember that? I asked how many people had spoken and if you had finished. You remember that? Thumbs up if you remember that. That was breakout room 2. Then in breakout room 3, I checked on some vocabulary. Does anybody remember that?
Yes, teacher.
And the word was family.
Family and
families. Yes,
Singular.
because I wanted to make sure that you were using the right word. Very good. And in breakout room 4, I gave some positive feedback saying that everything was going well and you were doing well. So these are the kinds of things that you can easily do if you have set up breakup rooms and you want to go into the room and show your students that you are checking their learning, that you are interested in their progress, that you are making sure that they are doing what you ask them to do. And you can also do a little bit of micro teaching. You can talk about the difference between singular and plural. You might want to comment a little bit on pronunciation if you can hear a very common mistake. Okay. So look at the screens again, and I want you to reflect on the lesson that we did just now. How, in what way was the lesson similar to a face-to-face lesson, a lesson that you might teach in a classroom with children in front of you or adults in front of you? Think about what you did. You were the learners. What were you doing? What did I ask you to do? And not just actions, but thinking, sharing, skills, listening, reading. And what did I do? I was the teacher. What was my role in the lesson from when we first started with the picture of the cake until just now? I also want you to think about how you might adapt this lesson or even add to this lesson, because it's not a full lesson. You could do lots of things afterwards. And I also want you to think about if you could use this lesson or a similar lesson, but with a different theme. So the theme of my lesson was birthdays. Maybe you could think of another theme that would work well with these techniques. And if there are any other ideas that you've got for adaptation, maybe changing, not just changing the theme, but changing the order of things, things like that. So what I want you to do now is have a little think on your own, and I'm going to set up some more breakout rooms. After you've had some thinking time, I'm going to ask you to go back into the rooms. You will probably be with some different people because it's an automatic assignment. You might not be with the same people from the first breakout rooms. You've got quite a lot to do. So a good idea, if you've got your phone with you, is to photograph the screen that you can see so that you've got a record of the questions to take to the breakout room with you. Or you could do, you know, use the snip tool and take a mini screenshot of it. Up to you. I don't know what devices you're using. The camera option is probably the easiest one. So at least a few people need to have the questions to refer to. I am going to set up the breakout rooms. She says. Actually, you will be with the same people, so that's nice. So I'm going to open all the rooms again, and you'll get a message to go to your room. But they are the same participants as before. So I hope you're ready. I hope you've got a record of the questions. Have a little chat about them, and then we'll come back to the main room. Good luck. see your face, it's not enough. They need to have a visual clue, a picture, some clear instructions. You noticed I had my instructions ready to refer to on the screen. The feedback, if you remember, I gave feedback on the words that you could think of connected to a birthday cake. Instead of just telling them to you, they were written there so you could see them. And I think that's really helpful for learning. And the other thing is to vary interaction patterns as much as possible. So we did some whole class work, we did some group work, and we did some whole class work. I nominated some students. I asked May to nominate some students. It's important that it's not always the teacher talking to the whole group, but making variations. You notice how with the whole class work, I asked you to use the chat for answers, or I asked you to check understanding using yes, no, or thumbs up or thumbs down could be. The breakout rooms, you were able to do a language task where you were describing your last birthday, which is talking about the past, talking about the theme, asking questions, and then summarizing. And you'll notice that I entered your classroom to monitor. And the other important thing is although we want to be as close to a classroom, it's not the same. So we must be very careful that we don't have too much teacher talking and a sort of lecture style, because that's not very motivating. And I think people get tired quicker online than they do in the classroom. So avoiding a lecture style, you can structure using your plan and your visuals and your instructions and your slides. And very important, please try and find opportunities to what I call hand over the learning process to the learners. So after I started you off, I left you to talk about the theme, and I just came into your class, into your breakout room to comment or check that everything was okay or check that you were doing the right thing. But basically, you were in charge of the learning. You were leading the learning. And the final thing is the teacher monitoring the task. Now, if this was a real lesson, I would have spent more time in each breakout room because there will be less people in there. And I might even make some notes so that in the feedback section, I could refer to specific things that I think would be helpful or useful to refer to. And that's it from me. Has anybody got any questions? I think we've run over time, I'm afraid, but we've got 5 minutes for questions. I hope it was clear. I hope you got some good ideas and some good principles from it, but we've got 5 minutes for questions. I think you'll need to write the question. Maybe write the question in the chat, because there's a lot of people in the room. So if you've got a question, I'm looking at the chat now, please write it in the chat. Thank you, Min Min. Have you got a question though? I understand that it's quite a lot to think of a question off the top of your head. If you have got some questions, maybe we'll find a way. You will get a feedback form, I think. Is that right, Tazin?
Yes, we can. We can send the link.
So if you want to put a question on your feedback form, I can also answer in that way. So somebody's written, how much time should we collectively take for teacher talk time in the whole class? Oh, that's a very specific question. I think as a rule, we talk about 20% teacher, 80% students talking. So if you make sure that at the beginning your instructions are clear and you start the lesson very clearly and you check your instructions, your students should be able to get on with it on their own. And then you are there as the facilitator and the motivator for their learning. Oh, that's a very good question, MP, about evaluating what goes on in the breakout rooms. I think that's a whole new session that actually maybe we could do a whole webinar on, because there's a lot to say around that. I would say it's very important that students expect you to go to the breakout room, and that you give them enough praise and that you engage in what they're doing. That is very important, but don't interrupt them to the point that it stops them talking or makes them feel a bit uncertain of continuing. Young learners, I think if they're sort of primary age, I think what you ask them to do in the breakout room should be very simple, probably a easy kind of matching task, or showing pictures, using pictures, matching vocabulary. You wouldn't ask very young learners to do something complicated. I think sometimes learners play around when it's too difficult for them, or they don't really know what they're supposed to do. So bear that in mind and make sure that the tasks that you give are appropriate for the age group, and make sure that you put them in the breakout room for a short time, that you monitor. And if you can see that they're not really doing what you wanted, then you pull them all back in, reiterate the questions, the instructions rather, and set them up again. The other thing, I think you probably need to do some training with them and show them good behavior and bad behavior in the breakout room, like you would do in a class. You know, maybe have like a little breakout room contract or something like that for children. Yes, that's a very good idea. ICQs, and you know, you can make sure that they understand the ICQs using the thumbs up or the yes, no, or ask them if they don't get it to put a question. But with children, with young children, the reactions are really, really useful, because they don't even have to write, do they? Well, I'm very pleased that you were able to come and experience the lesson. I hope that you will be learning more in some future sessions. The only other thing I wanted to say to you was that myself and May and Tazin from MMT Sol and the other MMT Sol team, we are working together to set up a platform for you to go to at any time to help your professional development, because we know that you've got issues with connectivity and electricity and all that. So there's going to be some very exciting news coming about that very soon. In May, we will be calling you to have a look at this new platform, and we'll be showing you what's there and how you can use it to get even better at teaching than you are now. And then after that, we're going to have a series of new webinars, maybe by me, maybe by some other people, maybe by MMT Sol, which is based on the needs analysis we did in March. So it's based around things that you said that you needed help with. And I think you'll find that that's very informative. Thank you very, very, very much. Thanks to May for setting this up with me. Thanks to Tazin for moderating the meeting. And thanks to all of you for being very interactive and participating the whole time. It's really inspiring to me that you had that you took part so well. I hope you can try some of these ideas out in your next online lesson.
Yes, Ginny, in fact, we should be the one to say thank you to you. So we really thank you to you and everyone in the Transform ELT and Clove professional learning community. And especially today, we learned a lot, and the guiding principles are very useful. And I am sure that we would be following these guidelines in teaching online classes. And for the forthcoming webinar sessions, we are looking forward to it. In fact, we can't wait for that. Okay, and we are sure that we will be learning useful things from you. So in May, yeah, it will be very exciting to welcome you all. And okay, and we are really thankful to you because we know that you care for us and you are doing things for us for the teaching.
I miss you.
Yeah, so thank you so very much, Ginny,
Well,
and everyone.
thank you. I really enjoyed it, and it was a learning experience for me as well to manage all the different things at the same time. So I learned something as well. We're always learning, aren't we? So that's great.
Thank you. And our special thanks to Dazin. She's a principal from Streamline and she's hosting the event. And Streamline has been the sponsor for the Zoom throughout the MMT SOAR
fabulous.
online courses. Yes, they are the main sponsor. And okay, and all the participants for your participation and for your interest and for your very thought-provoking questions. So thank you very much and hope to see you again. And we are also meeting next week, next Sunday, and we'll post our advertisement online on the Facebook. So stay tuned.
And just to say that I'm happy to share my PowerPoint. I don't know what's the best way for you to do that, which we can talk about that another time, maybe.
I have tried another version, PDF version, so that participants can download into their computer directly. So I will share here.
PDF. Oh, yeah. Fabulous. Great.
So please allow me to share here, okay? So the participants, teachers, you may download into your computer. If you have difficulty downloading into your computer, if you are using your phone or iPad, then you can let me know your email, then I can send you directly the PowerPoint file, okay?
Okay, that's even better. Thank you so much. And I hope to see you all again in May.
Yeah, So see you.
We'll
Bye-bye.
be
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
Thank you so
everybody, see
much.
you in the
Thank you so
mail.
much.
Bye. Have a great
Bye.
evening.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so Sia and Siama, you can fill up the form and we can wait until you are finished. And now teacher Dustin is sharing the PDF version of the PowerPoint used by Ginny. She's sharing it here in the chat box. Okay. Have you shared it, teacher Dustin?
Teacher, I'm preparing. Can you please
Okay,
give me
all
some minutes?
All right. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yes. And have you filled in the form, the evaluation form, where you leave your email addresses so that we can send you back the certificates?
Teacher, I have sent the PDF version in the chat.
Yes, I
so
can
that
see it.
everyone
Yeah.
can see.
Yeah.
And
I
I will
can see.
share several times, teacher.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. So if you can see it, you can download it directly here, or we will send it to you along with your certificates. Yes, thank you.
Yes, teacher. Thanks, teacher May and teacher Desen. I already filled out the form, but unfortunately, electricity off, and I couldn't download it because my laptop is gone. That's why, teacher. So may I leave now, teacher?
Yes,
I already
you can leave your email address.
Yes, teacher, I already left it. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, teacher. Thank you so much, teacher.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yes.
Those who haven't filled in the forms, I'm resharing the form here that teacher Desen has shared. Yeah. And if you have filled in the form and if you have got the PDF version of the PowerPoint slides, you may leave.
Teacher, thank you, teacher. Bye bye.
Bye bye, Sia. Bye bye, Sia. Hey, see you again. See you again soon.
See you again, teacher.
Teacher တို့ connect ပါဗျာဟို down ပြပါဗျာကျေးဇူးတင်ပါတ
ဟုတ်
ယ်
ကဲ့ပါရှင် ဟုတ်ကဲ့ပါရှင် bye bye မိဖြတ်ကြီးနဲ့
ဟုတ်ကဲ့ပါပါ
လာပြီးတော့အလုပ်လုပ်ပေးရကျေးဇူးပါဆရာလာတက်တာကျေးဇူးပါဆရာ
ဟုတ်ကဲ့ပါ teacher ဟုတ် connect ပါဗျာဟုတ်
နိုင်ပါရှင်
Teacher,
yes.
Wally. Oh, teacher, I'm using my phone and then I cannot fill the form with the link in Zoom you give me, teacher. How can I do, teacher?
Oh.
So teacher, can I help you one thing? Are you using the email address in your phone?
Yes, teacher.
Okay,
Yes,
so then
yes.
copy the link into your chat box or Fiverr or Telegram somewhere. Then in your free time, you can open it up again and you can use your Gmail account to log in. Then you can fill up the form. Take your time. You don't really need to do it here at once. You can copy it and save somewhere and do it later. It's also okay, Jen.
Oh, yes. Yes, teacher. Thank you for your,
You're
thank you,
welcome.
teacher.
Yes, Jen.
Teacher theory, I cannot download the PDF version. It's here. I will I will try to send it to teacher. Doesn't can you please share it again, teacher?
I will share one more time.
Yes, the PDF file.
Okay. Teacher Devi, is it okay for you?
Okay, teacher. Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Teacher Ibaba Ang, Teacher Yamin, Teacher Nui, will it be okay for you to download? Or is there anything that you need help?
It's everything okay, teacher. Bye-bye.
Bye, teacher.
Bye. Not okay. Teacher Nui. Okay, what's wrong, teacher?
I haven't got